So it seems like we're continuing with this little saga between Bronny James, LeBron James, and Stephen A. Smith, the head analyst on First Take. Can we just be honest, like about this whole situation? Because it's gotten really stupid at this point, quite frankly, and I, I'm actually tired of it being a topic. But can we just be honest about how we got here? So we start with Bronny James has a pretty good high school career, commits to USC. He has the unfortunate cardiac arrest incident. Thank God he got over that. I'm not even talking about the basketball player, we're talking about the human right now. But all in all, as we get back to a basketball perspective, he played about 7 games. This is a freshman. This is his first college year, and he's played about 7 games. How many college players do we know to play that few of games and actually get drafted? Kyrie Irving famously played about less than half the season for Duke, but it was still a first round pick because everyone knew that Kyrie Irving was NBA ready. We knew that. We weren't sure about Bronny. We just knew he was LeBron James' son, and yeah, he had potential. He could play. Obviously, if you were a Division I player, you got some potential, right? So let's see how he turns out. Let's see how he develops. So we start asking these questions like, well, if LeBron didn't make the comments that he made publicly about playing with Bronny, because I'm gonna have it right up here for you. It's gonna be right on your screen. I believe it was February 19th. LeBron James said on The Athletic, "You want me to draft Bronny? I want to play my last few years with my son." This is what LeBron James said. Nobody made this up. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Again, it's right there on your screen for you to see. I want to play with my son. If you want me, draft Bronny. And at the time, LeBron did not commit to the Lakers for another extension. He was very much thinking about testing the free agency waters because he wanted to see where his son would end up so he could go play with him. This is what LeBron James said. Not me. Not Stephen A. Smith. This is what he said. After he said that on the 19th of February 2022, we fast forward to January of 2024. LeBron James says Bronny could play for us right now. End quote. Following a 127 to 113 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies on January 7th of 2024. It says Bronny has just played just 7 games this season for the USC Trojans. Still, that's enough of a sample size for his father, LeBron James, to deem him worthy of suiting up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Quote, he can play for us right now. Easy. Easy. In all caps. Again, I didn't say this. Stephen A. Smith didn't say this. LeBron James said this. So I'm like, okay. So now we got, if you want me, draft Bronny right now. To fast forward, LeBron has gotten to an extension with the Lakers. Bronny can play for us right now. Play for the Lakers right now. I got another one for you. Again, this will be on your screen. This is a tweet from LeBron James on his account, not a fake one, his actual account. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of the cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Lightweight hilarious. Again, this is LeBron James saying all this stuff about his son. Now look, I'm not knocking him for having confidence in his son. That's great. That's what a father is supposed to do. Put confidence in his son. That's a great thing. I'm not challenging that. As a dad, that's perfect. I got nothing for it. But the situation and the circumstances of what we're leading to is Bronny becoming a pro. And guys, let's be honest. If LeBron doesn't say all this stuff publicly over and over and over again, are we sure that Bronny James will be drafted? He's played minimal games, did not score that much, did not really show a lot for a pro team to really invest in a draft pick in him. Let's be honest. I'm not tearing down Bronny James right now. I'm just being real right now. We got to be honest. I think there's a lot of like love for LeBron James where it's like if you attack his son, really we're just criticizing and being honest about it. It's an attack on his family. It's an attack on LeBron James, one of the greatest players we've ever seen. That's what it is. To the point where we can't talk about his son as a basketball player after you, LeBron James, on 3 separate occasions, publicly put it out there that, hey, I want to play with my son. He can play for us right now. He's a Laker. He a pro right now. That's what you said. That's what LeBron James said, bro. It's not Stephen A. Smith. So, getting to the Stephen A. Smith angle of this whole thing, because I feel like a lot of people are only looking at one side of the picture and not looking at the whole picture. Stephen A. Smith purposely tried to not see Bronny, not go to the games, because people knew who he was, and people will know if you came there to see Bronny, they're expecting you to comment on his game. How's he going to be? Can he be a pro? Can he become a Laker? All this stuff. All those questions would have immediately rose up to ESPN to make sure that he talked about that on First Take. First Take is one of the top sports debate shows in the world. My personal favorite show. Stephen A. Smith is the executive producer, sure, but he still has to answer to the bosses of ESPN who run all that stuff. So y'all think that eventually with all this stuff that LeBron James has said about Bronny, you didn't think eventually it wouldn't be a hot topic? First father-son duo to play in the NBA together and on the Lakers? Y'all really thought this wasn't going to be a topic that really First Take and ESPN were eventually going to have to talk about? And let's not stop there. Recently, we had LeBron James pull up on Stephen A. Smith courtside during a game. I made the mistake in a previous video saying that this was after the game. No, this was during the game. There was still basketball left to be played. And LeBron James leaves his huddle and team bench to find Stephen A. Smith and look at him face to face, basically telling him to stop messing with my son. Don't talk about my son like that. Bro, we're in Los Angeles during a Laker game, and you LeBron James. Do you honestly think that ESPN would not get that footage? Did you think that, and it's Stephen A. Smith? The camera is going to be right there, and it's going to be pushed into everybody's face, including ESPN. So if Stephen A. Smith doesn't talk about that situation, if he doesn't then talk about Bronny after LeBron James had said all this stuff about his son, and now he's a Laker, this is not a normal situation where a guy gets drafted at number 55. And I'm sitting there like, why are we so hell-bent on critiquing and worrying about a kid who has the potential to be an NBA player, but was drafted 55th overall and got a guaranteed deal? And for the Lakers, it's because it's Bronny James, the son of LeBron James. Why are we commenting so much? Because everything I just told you. This is LeBron James that put the spotlight on his son publicly. If he didn't make those public comments, and we sat back and say, hey, let's see what Bronny does. Does he go in the draft? Does he get drafted? No, LeBron James publicly came out and said, hey, you want me? Draft Bronny. You don't think Jeannie Buss and the Lakers heard that? You don't think that Jeannie Buss wanted to do everything she could to make sure to keep LeBron James happy and keep him in LA? What would keep him happy? What would want him to keep? What would LeBron James want to have the motivation to stay in Los Angeles and play for the Lakers? At the time weren't very good. They just weren't. Back-to-back losses to the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, to the point where it didn't look like a contest. They didn't look good. So what motivated LeBron to want to stay here? Oh, his son is eligible for the draft. Let's get him. Let's draft him. Let's make sure that we draft him in the second round. Guys, I'm not knocking Bronny James. I'm not knocking LeBron James for what he did, man. That's what a father's supposed to do. He's supposed to instill confidence in his son. He's supposed to speak and rave about his kid and brag about his kid. That's what a good parent does. I'm not knocking that. But we got to be honest here about this whole situation. Everyone right now is bashing on Stephen A. Smith and killing him for it. And I would say this. One thing I don't agree with Stephen A. Smith is literally like backtracking a little bit when Bronny James had a decent game. He scored 17 points against the Milwaukee Bucks in a blowout loss because the Lakers were not winning that game because they sat Luka, LeBron, and whoever else. They weren't beating Milwaukee. So Bronny James got some extended playing time. He had 17 points, looked decent. Cool. He looked decent against an NBA team, against NBA talent. That's 17 points. Look, that's against NBA talent. That's good. What you want to see. You want to see the growth. You want to see the progression. JJ Redick and the coaching staff are clearly doing a great job coaching Bronny. He's getting better. I want him to get better. I want him to succeed. I want him to become a consistent NBA player and a starter. That's what I want. That's what I want for Bronny. I want to be the best player he possibly can be. I swear. That's what I want. But all this critique of Bronny, all this attention and spotlight that we have put on a number 55 pick in the second round draft of the draft started with LeBron James. I just gave you 3 separate examples of what he said publicly, knowing that everyone would see it. This is not just anybody talking. This is LeBron James. He's still one of the best players in the league 22 years into his career. 22 years. Still one of the best players in the league. Everybody is paying attention to what you say, publicly or not, kidding or not. Everyone is paying attention to it. The media takes anything that you say and will run with that. So here we are. Now we're killing Stephen A. Smith for, he's a clown. He's attacking Bronny. He's just LeBron. He's a LeBron hater. No. He's not a LeBron hater, bro. All he does is praise LeBron James. Shannon Sharp go to the extreme and call him the GOAT and all that stuff, GOAT James. But if we have a different opinion about that, we're attacking LeBron James. We're attacking Bronny. We're haters. We're clowns. Bro, LeBron James is the reason why ESPN and Fox Sports and every other sports network talks about Bronny. If LeBron didn't make those comments, are we sure that Bronny would get drafted? Are we sure that this would be as hot a topic as it was? And then to add insult to injury, you publicly, in the middle of an NBA game in Los Angeles, pull up to that for one Stephen A. Smith on the sidelines. You 6'8", 260, looking down on this dude like Godzilla looked down on Kong when he kicked his ass in Godzilla vs. Kong. Just towering over him, saying, "Don't talk about my son. No, F that. Stop messing with my son." What the hell is Stephen A. supposed to do? He ain't about to go at you in public right there on the sideline. He asked to have a conversation with you so we could talk about it. No, you didn't want to do that. You wanted to come out publicly and say what you had to say and make sure that everybody saw it. Because LeBron James is not an idiot. He's a very, very brilliant person. He is not an idiot. He knew exactly what he was doing. All I'm saying is that we had to look at the big picture here. I think a lot of people are zoning in on LeBron and Bronny's side because I think there's a love affair there for LeBron James, and I get it. He's one of the best players we've ever seen, ever. He's never gotten in trouble. He's never had any scandals. He's had an amazing career. Probably the greatest career, longevity speaking, that we've ever seen from any athlete. So, yeah, I think fans have a tendency to get defensive when it comes to LeBron James. Like Beyonce fans get defensive about Beyonce. Don't say a bad thing about Beyonce in front of the Beehive. There's gonna be hell to pay. Don't talk about the Cowboys. Don't make fun of the Cowboys in public. The Cowboys fans it's gonna be hell to pay. Same thing with LeBron fans. Let's be honest. This ain't me bashing Bronny. This ain't me bashing LeBron James, quite frankly. But we gotta be honest and say, look, bro, you had a hand in how we got here. It ain't just Stephen A. talking about Bronny on ESPN. It became an ESPN topic starting off with LeBron's comments. That's the truth. Some of y'all might not like it. Some of y'all probably got comments for me on YouTube calling me a clown or saying I look goofy or sound goofy. That's fine. I really don't give a damn. So go ahead and do your thing. But let's be honest about what we're talking about with this situation here. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about it.